What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the things that we can do when we simply don't feel like cooking. Are there shortcuts? Should we really be taking them? Is it a sign that we're lazy? Actually, we're going to find out in this video, and I'll give you a few tips actually that I found to be very helpful. So stick around because that is coming up right now. Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More.
Drop.
Now, some people might think that meal prepping is actually too much work and they don't have the time for it. And yeah, it may be a moment in which you're doing some work, and as you get better, it becomes easier, and you're only doing it maybe once, most twice a week. So with that in mind, there are benefits to meal prepping. But if you don't want to meal prep, if you don't want to cook all the time, these could be, from the tips that I have here, these are things that you can take with you to work, or you can just simply have them at home. Obviously, there's more advantages to being at home because it'll probably be fresher and whatever the case, but at work, everybody reheats their own food anyway, or they spend money so that someone else can make food for them that doesn't necessarily have what they need. So these are better options. Let's go. One of the things that I do is, of course, I just try to fill up my stomach as much as I can, because the little moment that I think I'm hungry is when I start thinking about foods that I probably should not be. So one of the things that I have, first, I love blackberries. I have a lot of them, and this whole box I think came out to about 60 calories. So 2 of these is 120. So you could pretty much stack yourself up with blackberries, and I mean, I love these. Of course, we have strawberries. I had to put a paper towel here because they consume and they can get messed up real quickly. I don't know what it is with strawberries. But this whole box here, I end up having myself too. If I wanted to, I could just take the whole thing to work. That ends up to being about, so this whole thing, which is 16 ounces, ends up being about 150 calories, give or take. And even if it isn't, it's not going to be all that much different. You guys want to know about protein and things of that sort. Believe me, I have a lot. So when I'm home, I have, well, this is from Aldi. I think it's Friendly Farms. It's low-fat Greek yogurt. It's probably fat-free because it's 90 calories and 14 grams of protein. I think low-fat ends up having about 110 calories, 120. So honestly, what I do, I take some of this fruit, put it in a bowl, combine it with this yogurt, and it is awesome. I mean, it's already vanilla, so you don't have to add any sweetener or anything like that. If you did, of course, there's always like really low-calorie sweeteners or like syrups, or you can even put maple syrup if you want, and I'm sure that'll work just fine. I don't take this to work, but you know that I already have the Fit and Active, even the Hy-Vee brand, the supermarket brand from wherever you shop. They should have their own fat-free with multiple flavors of this Greek yogurt. Remember, it's fat-free Greek yogurt, not low-fat regular yogurt. You're gonna see a substantial difference in the calories and probably protein as well. Another good option is, well, when I'm home, I don't really have this when I am at work, but I have these. It's an amazing little hack here. So these are Hebrew National 97% fat-free beef franks. So they're not as big as your typical hot dogs. I like hot dogs. A lot of people will say, oh, they're disgusting, they're gross. That's your business. This is mine. I like hot dogs, and I have it with these. This is, I don't know if you remember the bread brand that I've showed you in the past, but this keto bread, which again, I don't care if it's keto. Now they make hot dog buns. And so for one hot dog, let's say 45 calories plus 90 calories for this bread, that's only 135 calories. And this is, as far as protein, this has 6 grams of protein. So 6 plus 10, 16 grams of protein. That's already really good. That's 16 grams of protein for one hot dog. No, you could have 2, maybe even 3 if it's dinner time and you just don't feel like cooking anything. Again, these are quick options. So put them in the microwave. If you want to boil them in hot water, that's fine as well. But you got options. Another thing that I like to do as well is, so I take these. These are the Mission Carb Balance wraps. This just happens to be whole wheat. That's what I found in this size. The reason I get this one now, I've been getting this, is only 45 calories, 4 grams of protein. Well, this is, I don't have the packaging anymore, but this is basically shredded pork shoulder, but it's lean. So it ends up being about 150 calories for about 20 grams of protein. So I just take a serving of that into one of the tacos, one of the wraps. And so it's basically 2 servings. plus the wraps. And if I really want to, I'll throw in some cheddar cheese or some mozzarella, both being fat-free, of course. With these options, super low in calorie, but extremely high in protein. When I'm not doing the wraps, of course, I am also going to be having these, which I've always known about, but I've only recently been eating these. These are the Joseph's Lavish Bread. There's a few that I've seen, but this is the one that I've seen has the best macros. So it's 60 calories for half a flatbread. So that means for 120 calories, you get this entire thing. It's like twice the size of my head. And well, I mean, what you can put in this, it's basically whatever you want. You know, you can make pizza, of course, but you can make flatbread. Which means there are no rules. The cheeses come to play. You can put the meat that I was just talking about. I put pepperonis at times. I put tomato sauce. What I do is in the oven, while it's preheating, I put this in there. Tomato sauce, mozzarella, turkey pepperoni. Sometimes if I'm doing something else, I'll add some Canadian bacon. These are, let's see, 45 calories for 2 ounces, which I think is like 3 or 4 slices. And you're looking at 10 grams of protein. What I do at the bottom, once I've preheated everything, I take one of these. Laughing Cow cheese wedges things. I usually probably take 1, maybe 2. And it just adds a little extra creaminess. And I'll put in the cheeses, meats. It could be any other cheese. I use prosciutto sometimes as well. You can use your, low fat, or I guess it's low sodium, turkey, whatever. As long as it's low calorie, it really shouldn't matter. Get creative, throw things. One day I even made a Hawaiian style pizza, which I don't even really care for Hawaiian, but I just wanted to try something different. I had the pineapple, I had the Canadian bacon, but the tomato sauce, the cheese, you are set. And speaking of Canadian bacon, hams, turkeys, and all that other good stuff, the things that are already made for you, you're gonna have a sandwich. Here are the keto-friendly buns. So this isn't the Aldi brand, whatever it is. This one is Love and Fresh. Is it the same thing as this? No, yeah, that's something else. This is Love and Fresh. This is a great find. It's actually better than the buns that other company makes because this has 70 calories for 1 bun and it's 9 grams of protein. And these feel more like actual buns. They have that consistency, so it doesn't taste like you're eating some mystery bread. So if you were to make burger patties, whatever you want, you could do that as well. They go great for that. But I think it's also when you want to put in some cold cuts, you want to just smash things up together. Hey, we gotta go. We're going to this place and we're gonna go whatever. And who knows what they're gonna eat? So you take something with you, roll up all the meats, whatever you want to put, the cheeses, put it in some little container, got your bun, got yourself a sandwich right there. Now you could eat with your friends. Like I always say, don't deny yourself experiences with your friends. But I am also saying that there are some times where you just can't be doing that every single day if you have goals in mind. Remember, your friends don't have those goals, so they're not gonna make those steps the way that you're going to. So there's a balance between both. And so these are honestly just some, let's say shortcuts, hacks. I always recommend to eat as much protein as you can, like to rather have natural sources of protein instead of just having protein shake and a protein bar and then make protein cookies and protein oatmeal, all which is whey. It's a bunch of whey. I mean, that could affect, no, I'm not saying that it will, but I guess it could when you're just having too much of one thing anyway. So if I was just to have strawberries all the time, I mean, I'm sure that's going to affect me somehow. Maybe not so badly, but the point is you want to mix it up. You want to get the benefits of all the foods, because when you're having whey protein, all you're having is protein and like 1 gram of fat and whatever grams of carbs. So you also need micronutrients. You need a few more things that are found in these other natural sources of foods. So honestly, what I think is as you try to be more flexible, you'll realize how much more you can include all the foods that you thought you couldn't eat and include them in your diet. And with that, you will never feel the need to envy other people's lunches. You could just say, oh, I'll have my own version of that tomorrow, or I'll just have that version today. But for the rest of the week, this is what I'm going to do because I have these goals in mind and I am doing great so far. One thing I always say, and I'm always going to repeat because I myself don't want to forget it, is one day of exercising has never given you 6-pack abs. So one day of not eating what you're supposed to is not going to give you a huge beer belly. Of course, that's usually what beer does. But ultimately, you get what I'm saying. You just keep working. Consistency is always going to be key. The one day that you get off track is not going to do anything. And honestly, if it's part of the plan, it's not off track. It's planned. So continue to do that. I encourage you to continue. Try hacks like these. I'll try to come up with more videos like these because I got a ton of other hacks. This is just all the food that I can fit in front of me before I start falling within it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really appreciate the support you've been giving me. Make sure you leave comments in the comment sections if you have any questions, any suggestions. I appreciate the liking, the sharing, and the subscribing. And folks, you already know, if you do more, you will be more.